My name is Kari Ramnefjell and I'm with Teater Joker. We just did a co-production with the National Theatre, Per på en pall, or Per on a podium, which we did in September. Teater Joker has also done several other co-productions as well, never with an institution like the National Theatre. I'm going to talk about Per på en pall. You asked me what being invited to do a co-production with the National Theatre means to us. Teater Joker has been producing shows for children and teenagers for over 20 years, and of course it's a big honour to be invited into co-production with the National Theatre. It means meeting a new audience after presenting our shows for several hundreds and thousands of small audiences. Finally we got to show it, not finally, but this was a different arena to present our work and the form we work in. For those of you who don't know Teater Joker, we work with a very specific form called cartoon mime. And I'm going to say a little bit more about what made this co-production work in a bit. Also, a great thing about being invited into this co-production is that we got access to resources which we normally don't have. It meant being able to, or we can, but it's normally this will cost us a huge amount of money, which we normally can't afford. So it was great coming into a big institution like the National Theatre because they have competence in certain areas that we don't. I'm going to have to look at this. So being a small company, in that meeting, it's basically like David against Goliath, or what you call it. And at first we were quite worried that we were going to be swallowed by the big institution. So we spent a lot of time to work out the contract. Where are the responsibilities? What's our responsibility? What's the theatre's responsibility? And we had the contract going back and forwards quite a lot to make it as clear as possible. I think one of the things that was crucial for this to work the way it did was that they gave us the complete artistic freedom. In that sense, we got to choose the directors. We brought 4 actors with us from our own company. And the National Theatre wanted us to involve 2 teenagers in this. And at first we were quite, worried about that. And we said, as long as we get to be part of this edition, not be part of it, but run the whole thing, and we get to choose who's going to be involved. Because cartoon mime, you have to have an understanding of the form. So the audition process is very, you have to be very thorough when you choose the people to work with. So we found 2 teenagers, and they were absolutely brilliant, I have to say. More than we could expect. They really lived up to the expectations and more than that. We were from day one, we were very conscious of the fact that we wanted to keep what makes Teater Joker Teater Joker in the format, with the people that we use involved in the show. The directors. We rewrote. This is based on Peer Gynt, and that, of course, being invited by the National Theatre and to be able to do Peer Gynt is, you know, a great honour as well. So we got to really do what we wanted artistically, but at the same time we got a lot of help when it came to the production side of things, and PR, marketing,
building the palette.
Yes, building the stage, and so on.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Maybe you can cut fast to at the end.
Yes, I will even faster. Can I tell you about the challenges? Because this was a very good co-production.
Yeah.
I'd say, all in all, our biggest challenge was the lack of funding, and that was a big problem.
How can you make a co-production with the National Theatre?
Well, the thing is, I mean, I totally agree with Guri, who says, you know, it's so important for theatre companies to bring in their own economy, their own funding, because if not, you don't. It's not that you don't have that much to say, but you do stand, you know, a stronger ground. Yeah. So that was our biggest problem, and nearly broke our back in doing it, because we didn't have a choice in not to go for the opportunity. But at the same time, the people who suffered under it were the people involved from Teater Joker, and, you know, having to spend everything, we basically wring our pockets and stuff like that. We do not regret it at all, but that was...
So you worked for free to make...
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. People in Teater Joker basically had to work for free to make this work, which is not ideal. We're all, you know, have families and stuff. And the last thing I wanted to say about, you said, you know, would you want to do this kind of co-production with someone, with a theatre elsewhere, further away from Oslo? I'd say it's difficult to answer because we've never had that question. So
for free.
For free, you know, we do everything for free, you know. No, I'd say yes. Every co-production. If someone approached us, we would definitely look into it. But the good thing about doing it in Oslo, where we're based, is that you can have the meetings. You have a greater chance to be able to keep up with everything, and you know, just check that everything's going the way you want it to. So yeah.
Great.
Can I ask a question?
Okay, yeah.
Did you apply for funding at the Norwegian Art Council?
Yes, we did. Yes, we got some funding. We did have some funding, but we did not get funding from the Arts Council.
We got funding from all the other funds that we applied.
Yeah.
Not the Norwegian Arts Council.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been explained maybe why earlier. I mean, there's we'll see. Good. Now if this was the end for the.
I can talk forever.
I'm just thinking of the time frame. I mean, kind of broken. So maybe Kari, I'm very happy to stop there. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.